Live from Williamson Field in Pontiac, Illinois, it is week 9, and that means it's time for Pontiac Township High School football. On the I in Central Illinois, part of the Casa Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brandt Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. In-game sponsors also include Bob and Ringel's Grill and Smokehouse, Graymont Co-op, RA Dynamics Real Estate, Driscoll Motors, Lyons Sullivan Realty, Marlin Isles Country Financial, Cypress Creek Renewables, Andy Bowman, DeKalb Dealer, Greg Kurtenball, your State Farm Insurance Rep, State Bank of Graymont, Kelly Electric, DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, Streeter O&I's Credit Union, Stoller International, Victory Lanes and Slammers Grill in Dwight, GHX by Golden Harvest, Cade Hill, your local dealer, and, of course, the Friends of Indian Football, Milford Hunter at the Potter Agency, and JMSA Trucking right here in Pontiac. Welcome to the broadcast. It's week 9, along with Ben Meyer, Jacob Green. I'm Tim Scott. And it's a non-conference affair, Jake. Clinton comes a-calling, and this will be the last regular season game, the last football game for these Indians. They come in with a 2-6 record. Clinton, 5-3. And I think even if they would lose tonight, I think they're still in by points if I was reading the information correctly. But for the Indians, it's a focus on trying to win 2 straight. They're coming off a win last week, 32-14. Build about something. And I know we're banged up, and we're going to lose a couple more starters here tonight, I understand.
Yeah, Tim, like you said, Clinton comes into this game with the higher record. However, the competition they've played isn't quite the caliber the Indians faced during the year. Nonetheless, still a solid team, no doubt. They have some issues as far as defending the pass. Their offense runs all right. Their defense isn't terrible. They're not a bad team. They're certainly not a great team. But the Indians are still going to have to work really hard to get around them. Like you mentioned, a couple of guys out this evening. Kerr Bowman, one of the number 1 targets, if not the number 1, is out tonight. Broken thumb happened in pre-practice, on Tuesday. And just the way it broke and, kind of saving him for basketball, it just isn't worth the risk there on him. Riley Johnson still out from IVC. He has an issue with his foot, I believe, something in the bone on his foot.
I don't know if it's broken or not, but he's certainly walking around with a boot. I understood
Correct.
6 weeks for him to be out, and for Kerr Bowman, for you Indian basketball fans, I understand it's just a 3-week process
Correct.
with him. Not a fracture or anything, but really he just kind of pinned it back. And maybe if they were playoff bound and if this game meant something, probably could have taped him up and went. They better discretion and to serve him for the basketball campaign. And the senior is done. Riley is a junior, I should say, and Riley Johnson's a junior, and he'll be back for another campaign next year. That's the good news. So right now, hey, pretty good crowd. Go ahead, Jake.
I got something as far as injuries and depth charts.
Okay.
We haven't seen him since week number 1. He had a good showing at Central Catholic. He's a freshman. Cesar Gutierrez is now returning back into the scene. Issues with his finger and everything through the season. Hasn't been able to get back in. Finally, week 9, he's able to get back in. No worry on whether or not he wanted to play. He was every day doing as much as he could. Just finally got cleared and is able to play. I talked to Coach Gadberry today as well, Tim, like we have in the past. And 3 keys to the game. Number 1, play with confidence. You guys just got to go out there and play football. We saw it at IVC last week. They were aggressive. They were the aggressor there for a good majority of that contest. We need to see it again tonight. Control the line of scrimmage. We talked about it last week, I believe, too. War in the trenches. You got to win that to win a football game. It starts and ends with the line, and that's number 2. Big plays. Limit them on defense. Clinton doesn't need to get anything too crazy. Hopefully Pontiac can. That's the whole idea of big plays there for number 3. They want to take advantage of that on the offensive side. Also, another remark on the seniors. He's very proud of the group of seniors, and they've come a long way as a program and have a long ways to go. Hopefully a win tonight, and that'll give them a lot of momentum heading into the offseason and send the group of seniors off just on a high note. We were talking last week, Tim, toward the end of the game. The since 2019, I believe, I was talking, the Indians had not won more than one game. The Indians in 2019.
Back to back. Yep.
So, Indians in 2019 won 3 games.
Correct.
So, the Indians could kind of get back out of the slump they have been the last few years. And this one's getting ready to kick off, Tim, but I think we're in for a good one.
Well, the Indians will kick off. Let's see who that's going to be, because it's not Kerr Bowman. He was handling the honors out there prior to. And it's going to be number 21 for the Indians, and that's Zach Legner. So he will get the honors, and we'll get the skilled people introduced for you as we hit the highway here. We are set and ready to go once that clock gets reset.
Interesting fact, too, Tim. We've talked about it a little bit throughout this year, and I got a chance to talk with him earlier today. Coach John Johnson is back. He's he calls the offensive plays for Clinton and controls the special teams. Not his offense, but he is the play caller, and he was happy to be back and see some different people here today. And but just an interesting fact: head coach for 2 years, back at Williamson.
And the kick is underway and fielded down near the 25 and working his way up across to the 31. And that's the way the Clinton Maroons, are the nickname, 5-3, lost to Shelbyville last week by 2 touchdowns. I want to say it was by 14. And Shelbyville's ranked number 6 in 2A. So they had a tough opponent. And once again, they would love to be 6-3 and get into the playoffs. They don't have to worry about points, and maybe can garner a home game at 6-3, depending on the quadrants and where everything falls. Their quarterback is Mason Walker, and they'll hand off. And they do a pretty good job there of stuffing that on a first-run play. And once again, for your Indian fans, Bowman is out. Riley Johnson's out. And, of course, Bowman went both ways, as did Riley Johnson. So those are 2 key guys that we will miss tonight, no doubt about it. And the seniors, as Jake just mentioned, there is a keeper. Mason Walker is loose at midfield, and it's a foot race. Down near, crossing the 30 and pulled from behind. That might have been Amari Curtis. Yes, it was, but not before Walker. The fake to the left on the run, and it was a quarterback keeper. And pretty good vision right there by Mason Walker.
Well, we talk about it in pregame there, Tim. Limit the big plays is number 3, and right off the bat, you see a big run through the middle. Not what you want to see to start this one. Hopefully the Indians can get a stop here as they're backed up deep in their own territory.
Oh, the Indians just jumped into the neutral zone. That's going to be a 5-yard walk-off. Walker was under center. And there's the first penalty of the game. It's a 5-yard walk-off against the home team. Now Walker under center. I don't know if I've seen anybody under center all year long, but he is under center out of the I formation this time. And it's the deep back. And turning the corners, picking up first down yardage and more. And that'll set up a 1st and goal situation. That was Graves, Dawson Graves, the running back, a senior. And Jacob, so far, a little deterrent by the Indian defense. Boy, the Maroons are doing what they want to do and doing it very effectively.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. The Indians' defense just kind of came out flat here. And they attacked the weak side, I would say, Clinton has, and they've got themselves really good field position.
Same play, close to the same results, inside the 5 that time. The run by Potts, Tristan Potts, number 20. And you can see Maroons, the visitors, with the white jerseys, the yellow/gold pants, and the maroon-type numbers and helmets there, as you can see on your pictures. 2nd and goal from the 3. I bet they go right back at it again. Why not, huh?
It's worked so far, Tim.
This time the Indians were there, met him, maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. That'll set up 3rd and goal. That was Graves on the carry. Blackwell gets credit for the tackle. Great night for football. It's cool, but the winds have sat down. There's absolutely no wind, and the winds were howling this afternoon here in town. But all right, here we go. First big play of the night for the Indian defense. Again, up the middle and stuffed at the 2. Not a whole lot of imagination out of the Clinton offense, and the Indians were ready for the last 2 trips.
Clinton just ran it right up the gut every time, really, thus far. You've seen a little bit of outside here early on, but in the last couple of plays, they've just lined up in that eye under center and really just punched it down the Indians' throat.
I could see on a second down run up the middle, but on third down, when you're in 4-down territory, a little surprising. That was a pretty vanilla type play.
Be great to have an Indian stop right here, Tim. 4th down, and they need it.
Mason Walker out of the shotgun. Potts, did he get in? Yes, he did. Went off left tackle and just inched over the goal line. Broke the plane, and Clinton's up 6-0.
Not what you wanted to see here early, Tim. Clinton marched down the field in dominating fashion and ended up in the end zone. The Indians not able to get a stop there on 4th down. And Clinton looks like they're going to go ahead and kick for it here.
Yep. So with 8:41 to go, first quarter, Clinton draws first blood. As I mentioned here, now there's a little bit of delay down there. It's a great crowd here for a 2-6 ball team. The student bodies in full apparel. Junior football was honored here tonight, and there was over 200 kids out in front here prior to pregame activities. Student bodies looking at us right now because they turned their backs on the extra points. The kick is up, as you can see, and is good. So with 8:41 to go, it's 7-0. The bad guys on the road taking the lead over our Indians. For over 70 years, Brant has been helping growers achieve better results. They bring the very best seed, crop protection, and nutrient solutions to the farm. Through research and innovation, they help Central Illinois growers implement new practices and improve crop yield and quality. Brant, professional agriculture. Visit brant.co for more information. And let the good times roll. Where's that at? Victory Lanes in Dwight. They provide complete family entertainment close to home, located at the intersection of Highway 17 and 47 up in Dwight. Victory Lanes is a great place for a simple family night out of bowling, a great spot for a celebration. Reach out for information on leagues and pricing. And while you're there, check out Slammer's Grill, some of the best food in the county, right there at Slammer's Grill. Phone 584-2724, or visit Victory Lanes and Slammer's Grill in Dwight. All right, let's see how the Indians respond, Jake. I assume we'll see a dose of Melcher and Curtis in the backfield tonight. And we'll see what else transpires here on their first touch of the football. This is King. He's going to let it come to and he's got to pick it up at the 1. I don't know why he let it bounce around. The Indians are going to have terrible field position. He had plenty of time to pick that up and head north-south.
I think he was hoping it was going to go in the back of the end zone there, Tim, or at least into the end zone, rather, and for a touchback. But even once he got it, really, he was flat coming out to the side. And
yeah,
you just got to have some energy, and especially early in this one, you have it still. So use it while you got it.
Well, it's tough to gauge it up here, but I would certainly agree with you. They just don't seem to have a spark out of the gate here. They better find one and find one quick.
No doubt. Yeah, you got to at least get the ball down outside of your own territory, because if you give Clinton another chance really inside, it's going to get ugly quick, Tim.
This is a DeLong, the quarterback, Alvin DeLong, AJ. And that's Hunter Melvin right up the middle and crosses the 15 to the 16. Maybe a gain of 3. That's what we're going to call it, 2nd and 7.
As long as you can find consistency in this run, Tim, the Indians did it last week. Granted, different defenses. However, if they can be aggressive through the middle and be consistent to their values, Coach Gadbury wants this team to be a running team, and if we can do it here tonight, it worked somewhat well last week.
DeLong looking, short drop, caught. That might be Melcher's the way the look is. Enough for a first down. So DeLong's first toss. Yep. Ben Melcher's on the reception, and that's enough for a first down. Move the sticks. Mark it at the 26, 1st and 10. And they are going to go quick. Hunter Melvin, loose on the left side, turns the corner, crosses the 30 up to the 31. Give him a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Last week they ran as a team for over 240 yards. Riley Johnson had over 100. He's out tonight, but Melcher's checked in with around 84 yards. And Amari Curtis had a solid second half especially, and he was over 50 yards of running with the football.
Yeah, the running back room here for the Indians has been pretty stout this year, I would say, Tim. You know, we've seen some good things out of it.
Now, so far, they got Hunter Melvin parked in the backfield, the single back. Fake to him, dumped out to Melcher's, and Melcher's near the first down. Let's see, that last lunge might have got it. I think it did. 1st and 10 for Pontiac. Mark it right at the 36.
That's something I really like out of the 32 of Melcher's. He dives for the extra yards. He wants the extra yards, Tim. You see him lunge for that couple extra inches or a couple yards that he can get, and you see it out of him a lot.
Well, he knows how to run the football and catch the football, and he knows how to react to it, no doubt about it. And he is just a freshman, one of those young football players that the Indians are going to be counting on for 4 years. Out of the shotgun once again. This time, well, the pile moved a little bit. Was that Melvin up the middle?
I think it was Curtis.
Yep, you're right. Number 22 gets his first carry, Amari Curtis. And they'll mark it, well, that's marked officially at the 40. That's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Actually, Tim, I think we're about a yard off. I think we'll look to see the 39 here.
Well, we're going to say a long 7 or a short 8. How about that? Well, we're going nowhere, and Curtis is going nowhere because there was 3 white shirts all over him before he even got a chance to say hello. Ball was handed to him, and he went down immediately. So the loss of that will be 4, 3rd and 11. This is not where you want to see a 2-6 ball club at. You want to see 3rd and short, not 3rd and long. I don't care if you're 6 and 2 or 2 and 6. You don't want to see 3rd and long.
No doubt, especially in that fashion. The way you were moving, that was the biggest setback here we've had so far, Tim.
All right, let's see what the play call is on this. And we got a timeout on the play. Indians are going to burn their first timeout of the half with 5:29 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Clinton. Every day, searching for reliable farm equipment for this harvest season? Well, let the Bank of Pontiac Ag Team help you with the ag loan today. If you need cash for equipment, land, livestock, or daily operations, count on the Bank of Pontiac's Ag Team to customize an affordable payment schedule for you. Our Ag Team has been providing financing for generations of local farmers. Call or stop by a Bank of Pontiac location and ask about an ag loan today. All right, 3rd and long. Week 9, the final game for the Indians. DeLong running, heaving, balls up for grabs, could be picked, and it's, in and out of the hands of King. Number 1 near the 35. First of all, it went in and out of the hands of a defensive back for Clinton. Then King was bobbling it. And like I said, that ball was up in the air a long time. It's fortunate it wasn't picked.
Our preview of the stream plays in front of us at a slight delay, so I was able to go back and watch it. And he almost had possession there, Tim. He had possession, if you would, there for just a little bit, then it bobbled out. If he was just able to keep on to it just for another half second, he would have had full possession, no doubt.
So the Indians will have to punt, and again, that Indian receiver, Amazing King, just could not come up with it. The punt is clean. Bounces inside the 30, ends up being a pretty good punt, and then the Maroons will have to let that baby go, and they'll start inside their own 30. That was Keaton Graves. Keaton Graves there, who could not field that cleanly, and it cost the Maroons about 10 yards of field position. So this is Clinton's second drive of the quarter. Second drive, the second time they've had the ball. And they're trying to go back-to-back with some scores here. Let's see if the Indians can provide a little more resistance this time. Walker keeps it. Walker. Well, he'll cross the 25 up to the 27, give him a gain of about 2. And they'll set up 2nd and 8.
Hey, Tim, I got a message in from one of the fans at home, and it was from Amy Bowman. So Amy said, hey, tell Tim Kerr really did break his finger. It wasn't just a fracture. It was a break. He is in a cast, and he isn't in as a break.
That is a break. Okay. We appreciate that. We don't appreciate the bent thumb, of course, but hopefully he's all healed up. Pretty tough to shoot a basketball from three-point land and defend.
Thankfully, Tim, non-shooting hand.
Oh, that's good news. I was under the understanding it was the shooting hand. That's even better. So that is good news. So, hey, young kids are quick healers, and I'm sure he'll be back on the hardwood. And looking forward to seeing him in Indian basketball, which starts the week of Thanksgiving. They are up in Ottawa in the Ottawa Thanksgiving tournament that Monday. So the week of Thanksgiving, that's about a month away yet. So,
yep,
and
November,
of course,
actually a month to the day.
Yep.
So 11/20, November 20th, we're up at Ottawa.
All right, this is Walker looking, tucks it in. He wants to run, scrambles, and gets a first down. A la Frey and Tarkenton for all you old timers out there. Scrambling and weaving, and the Indians couldn't corral him until it was a first down, so they're going to mark it at the 37. 1st and 10, 3:34, first quarter. Really looking forward to Indian boys basketball. Got 3 great kids to build around, and got a lot of possibilities. See who can fill the shoes of the remaining 2 starters that won't be starting this year. That's not Potts, but that's going to come back. That's Graves on the carry. Running a lot, but not going very far. Pushed back, a flag came in. Might very well be holding against Clinton. And, of course, with the basketball front, you got Henry Brummel and Riley Weber. And, of course, Kerr Bowman. And hopefully at some point, I did hear some encouraging news. Michael Kustra, who had some hip surgery. I heard initially it might be February, but I was hearing January. You heard anything positive, or is that just that hearsay on the streets?
Well, Tim, I will say I believe Michael Kuska is in that January to February range,
okay,
right? So you're in that area of, I don't know if there's an exact date that I know, but it's in that later January, early February. Nonetheless, we won't see Michael Kuska for a while.
So anyway, there's 2 spots open in that starting lineup there that Coach Kelly and the gang is going to have to find, and we'll see how that works out. In the meantime, that was a holding penalty. Boy, that's a nice little flip by the lefty, how he got that out, and it was caught by Keaton Graves. And what was 1st and 20 now becomes 2nd and manageable. That was a pickup, we're going to say, of 14. That's going to be 2nd and 6. So they get a big chunk of that back to the Maroons. And once again, Walker out of the shotgun this time. Mason Walker, he's a senior. He's a lefty firing, and boy, open in the seam and could have been gone was Colton Walker, a brother but it was incomplete, as you could see. Indians dodge a bullet right there, and now we got a timeout on the field, or is that an equipment issue? I don't know what's going on over there right in front of the Clinton bench. I think it might have been an equipment issue, and somebody had to come off.
Yeah, it looks like it, Tim. It looks like something maybe with the belt or pants. And
Yep. I saw someone chuck it either a mouthpiece or a belt or something over there.
I wonder if maybe knee pads, Tim. Looks like
Well,
he did take the game pants down a little bit. He's looking at the knee pad area.
So with 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 we'll call it. In the house is the former AD, Gary Bruner's up in the press box. Maybe we get a quick word with him. And in the meantime, the Indians come up with a big sack. And with 2:32, they're going to have to punt it away. And Gary Bruner's going to join us here. Of course, the longtime AD retired out at the end of last school year. Gary, welcome aboard. And see you're taking in some action. And how's it going, my man?
Awesome.
I'm sure.
My stress level's pretty much negative right now, so it's pretty good.
Well, I'm sure you've gotten a little golf in, and among other things, and yeah, I bet it's a different fall for you, no doubt about it, isn't it?
Much different fall. Working at the golf at Wolf Creek,
Yep.
and mowing some fairways and some rough, and helping a farmer, and you know.
Well, I tell you what, I know you keep in touch with what's happening at the school. First of all, your wife's still working out here and
She is.
teaching and doing her thing, and the volleyball, one of the coaches there in the volleyball.
Yep. This is actually the first. This is the first non-volleyball event I think I've been to. I was getting ready to go to watch our girls tennis team play one night. I wanted to see them play, and it started raining, and so that happened. You know, I missed that, and I saw our golf team play a couple times because they were out at Wolf Creek.
Right.
But that was just because they were there. It wasn't because I had to make an effort.
Well, yeah, if folks remember, of course, you were the girls' varsity golf coach as well, with the very hats that you wore. DeLong, well, that's dumped off to Melcher's. Got a little bit of room at a 10, trying to make something happen, and he does. Picks up about 8 on the play. 2nd and 2 at the 20. Young football team. Hopefully
making strides.
Yep.
You know, so I haven't watched them in person. I've been watching them online every week, home and away, and they're getting better, which is, I mean, that's kind of what we hoped when we hired Coach Gadbury, was
Right.
to
Of
just
course.
to get better and
Right.
to get better and to get better, and they have done that. I think the amount of progress they've made from week 1 to week 9 is astronomical, you know, and it doesn't always show up in the win columns, but it will in a couple years.
Well, there's no doubt about it. They got the coaching staff in place. There'll be a full off season for everybody to work with the kids, recruit kids, get them out, get them excited, get them in the weight room, work in the weight room. That's huge for the O and D lines, no doubt about it.
Well, you know, we're bound to get better when we get Jake Green graduated.
Sure, Jake can't talk at the moment. He got his headset. He can't defend himself. Well, Gary, it's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see how this football campaign and in the next 2-3 years with Coach Gadbury and the group working, and of course a lot of good things with the basketball programs at all the winners programs, of course. But of course, we have interest in the boys program. We'll be a part of that throughout the campaign and covering them up and down the conference trail as well as the non-conference games, and they looking forward to how they work out with the big 3 they have.
I think so, and you know what? Wow, the facilities. I haven't had a chance to, when you see them under the lights. I mean, wow, it really. It's pretty.
Picked off. This is a pick 6. DeLong threw it up. He was hit on the play. Popped it over the middle. The linebacker was the only one in the neighborhood. That's Logan Toms. And he walks into the end zone, and just like that, Clinton's up 13-0.
Well, you know, the good thing with DeLong getting this year, he's a sophomore.
Right.
And the best thing about sophomores is they become juniors. You know, and so he'll
Al
get
McGuire.
I mean, really, he has a year of experience under his belt, and I think you guys remember, you probably remember Jake Fry went through some growing pains.
Absolutely.
And he had some better athletes to go around him at that time. You know, that was a group that was loaded. But Tommy Green.
Yep.
You know, that we had some sophomore quarterbacks. It took them a little while to figure it out, and it's they'll get better. They're going to get better, and that's the thing about it.
Tough conference to get better in, but my goodness, you know, the
Yes, it is.
top 4 teams. We're talking Prairie Central's down at Central Catholic tonight, Monticello, and I think it's St. Joe Ogden.
Well, St. Joe
Connect.
Ogden and Monticello probably.
Yep.
Who's Unity play
And
tonight?
Unity, I think, has PBL.
Okay, I mean that's
Yeah. You got Tolona Unity, St. Joe Ogden, Central Catholic,
Prairie
Central. Those are the top 4.
and
PBL
then
somewhere.
Monticello,
Yeah.
goes and beats Prairie Central, and
Yep.
PBL's in there. I mean, PBL they beat Monticello, which they thought was going to. So I think we have a chance. Do we have a chance to get 6 teams in the playoffs from our conference? I think.
That is correct. So it'll be interesting how it all comes out, but the conference certainly can make some deep runs again this year. It certainly has in the past. Central Catholic might make the deepest of it. So, and they're a 2A ball team. So.
See, that'll help them being a 2A
Yep.
club. But I tell you what, Unity looks like they're primed again. I think they're
They
primed
are.
for another run. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but every year, boy, it gets to be about this time, and they just figure it out.
Well, Clinton's going to kick off. We got 13 seconds, and before we let you go, I have an opportunity to, of course, go through all these conference schools this year for the first time in a while. But my goodness, there must be trees with cash growing on them, because over at IVC, turf fields all over the place. I'm amazed the whole grass area is just not turf. Tolona Unity is just gorgeous down there. They do it right. Central Catholic, we know that. Our facility, not turf, but my goodness, we have the gorgeous grass, new infield, the bleachers, the press box, the indoor facility, the commons area has been remodeled. The gym is now totally complete.
Prairie Central Prairie Central's doing their redo.
Yep.
I mean, it's our conference is, I mean, PBL is probably right now they're running behind, and they were ahead of everybody.
Yes.
And I mean, it's just crazy.
It really is, and these schools have gorgeous facilities and products, most of them to back it up. So IVC's trying to rebuild as well. But very interesting as the Indians run out the first quarter clock, and at the end of one, the score is Clinton 14, Pontiac 0. Gary, thank you very much for stopping by, and enjoy the retirement as your winter comes into play. I'm sure you'll probably heading south and getting out of the cold at some point.
That'll happen at least once, if not multiple times.
I figured. Thanks for stopping by,
Thanks
my
for
man.
having me.
All right. Gary Bruner right there, the former AD, retired out here at Pontiac Township High School. And we'll get Jake Green back on the headset here.
You know, Gary's still trying to give me a hard time, and he gets on me, but he's the one that hired me, so that was his own fault 4 years ago. But it's always good to see Gary up and around.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
Take care, Gary. Well, in the meantime, Jake, big plays, don't allow them. Well, unfortunately, the Indians, you can't blame the defense on that. Pinned in their own end on the 3rd and short. And DeLong gets hit and throws up a lemon, and the lemon gets picked off the tree and ran in for 6.
Yeah, no doubt there. You saw the kind of the same thing last week at IVC when DeLong got hit. Luckily, didn't turn into anything. Tonight it does. And, yeah, no doubt. Being in your own territory, punting the first time, pick 6 the second, the Indians really need some help here, and they got to get on the board.
All right, 2nd and 8 as we start the second quarter. DeLong dumps it to Hunter Melvin, and he's upended immediately right at the 30. Now, that's a play that's worked for the Indians quite a bit as of late. But I assume somebody's been watching some film in the Maroon locker room, and they read that pretty well. A gain of 1, 3rd and 7. King split out to the right. Out of the shotgun. Now they're getting a play call. Usually this is the way it is. As you can see, the kids are looking over to the sideline, getting the play in. They ran a couple in a hurry-up. And this is Amari King, and he's going absolutely nowhere on 3rd and long. Indians are going to have to punt once again.
Well, really, Tim, I hate to say it, but when we see Amari Curtis in the backfield, we don't get quite the same energy as a Hunter Melvin or a Ben Melchers. Still a solid runner, but just not quite the same as those two. And, at least he's getting the rock and getting some carries here, but the Indians really have to make some strides. They have to get a stop on this next Clinton offensive drive.
I think it's Martinez that's going to punt back there, the number 14 on his jersey, Marcus Martinez. Clinton's got a duo back. Punt is a short one, and King hits, actually the ball will hit King in the back of the foot, and that's where it'll be marked right there at the Maroon 43. 14-0, just the start of the second quarter. It's all Clinton so far. We'll try to get you some scores and updates as we mentioned. Prairie Central, a big one on the road. If they go 5-4, they're 5-3 right now. If they lose tonight, they'll certainly be on the road. They have enough points to qualify. I'm almost 99.9% sure of that. And this will be a first down run, and this is Mason Walker. And this time the Indian defense bottles him up a little bit better. He might gain 2 on the play, and that'll set up 2nd and 8. I know Rantoul and IVC are playing each other tonight. And then, like I said, I thought it was, and we'll double check on those, make sure I'm giving you the right matchups. But Monticello, I thought, was playing PBL, and Tolono Unity. There's a run up the middle once again. That's going to be a face mask. You could see that was Graves, the runner, and all of a sudden he got pulled back. I couldn't catch which Indian got his hand caught in the cookie jar with his hand in the helmet. But with that face mask, it's going to be a walk-off, and that'll give him a first down.
Well, right now, Tim, while we got a second, 7-0 down at BCC. It's all Central Catholic here thus far with 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
And for Central Catholic, if they win, that means they're undefeated, and obviously they win the conference. If PC could hand them a loss, St. Joe Ogden, if they win tonight, they'll share the conference title. There's the walk-off for the face mask, 15-yarder, and that gives the Maroons operating room inside of Indian territory now. They'll mark it at the 38, 1st and 10. Walker dropping back. Look out for the screenplay. This is Potts. And he breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and he is going to be inside the 5 before he's brought down by Martinez. And breaking that initial tackle cost the Indians dearly, and it's 1st and goal for Clinton.
You just can't have plays like that,
No.
Tim. Really, the Indians haven't, to me, haven't showed anything too great on defense tonight. They've been flat. They've been flat on offense, really, for the most part, too. There's just a spark, like you mentioned, that's missing tonight, Tim.
Well, that was a well-devised plan and play. Got to give credit to the Clinton folk on that one, and execution was excellent. And then it was all Potts that broke that tackle. And now we got a flag, and I think somebody from the Indians jumped into the neutral zone. So 1st and goal again. And that ball's going to be marked inside the 2, way it looks.
So it looks like it's St. Joseph Ogden at PBL.
Okay.
I believe it was...
Ball's out! Fumble on the play. The Indians recover in the end zone for a touchback. So Potts looked like he was going to go in, and the ball was stripped just before the goal line, and the Indian defense does come up with a big play.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Tim. I was reading our sheet in front of us, and from my vantage point, we have a wall to our box. I can't see what's going on, and how about that? The Indians get a forced fumble there.
So the first turnover of the game for the Maroons, and it costs them 6. Still 14-0 Clinton. 8:57 second quarter. Let's see if the Indians can get something going. So once again, it was Monticello at PBL. Is that what you were saying?
That's right. IVC at Rantoul.
Right, that one I remember.
I believe Tolono was in here somewhere. I'll find it again here for you soon.
Well, they had to be Tolono and I'm forgetting the rest of the other member of the conference. This is a run up the middle and getting a little bit of running room. That's Curtis on it.
Tolono and Monticello at Monticello tonight.
Yeah, that was it.
And of course, we'll bring you scores as we get them. We use ihsa.org, just the scores. It updates as, I believe, athletic directors, whoever can log in, whatnot.
Somebody's got to log it in.
Right.
Yep.
And so as we get those, we'll share them with you.
This is a run by Hunter Melvin on the left side. Well, that's going to be Curtis again, beg your pardon. Mari Curtis.
So, Tim, right now we have 15-7 in the second quarter. Prairie Central is over Central Catholic down there at BCC.
Well, that'd be a huge, huge victory for PC. That certainly would be an upset, and that would make the conference look a little bit different. On a third and very short, the Indians pick up the first down. So Curtis again on the carry, 3 straight carries and 11 yards, and that's enough to move the chain. 7:45 clock running, second quarter. Indians down by 14. So once again out of the shotgun. And the first back. Very well could be. That was Ben Melcher's that time. Ben Melcher. That's his first carry of the night, I think.
We saw a couple earlier.
Was there? Okay.
Those in the early plays of the game. It's 14-0 here so far, Tim. Clinton has they've been the aggressor tonight.
Well, they just coughed up the football and very well could be at 21-0. But they were crossing the goal line, going in for their third score, and the ball was stripped out of Potts' hands. Indian defender fell on it in the end zone, touchback, and this is where we're at on the ensuing drive. This is Melcher trying to pick his way upfield. So once again, the Indians, they've been in this situation, unfortunately, in the first half. Third down opportunities here. Single back, and that's going to be Hunter Melvin. He turned the corner. He got up to the 40. I think he stepped out before picking up the first down, but I think it's go time right here. If that's not a first down, I bet Coach Gadberry's going to go for it. Why not?
Hey, real quick while we have a second, Tim. Craig Kramer checking in from Canton, Ohio. Said we're sounding great, and they're getting ready for the ISU Youngstown State game.
Yep.
There for Peyton Kramer. He played on that 2019 3-6 Indians team.
Well, ISU trying to get they had a tough loss against their number one team in that conference a couple weeks ago, but they picked up a win last week and trying to put back-to-back wins, and tough conference they play in. Meantime, that was enough for a first down. With 5:44, Hunter Melvin on a first down carry, trying to get near midfield. They'll mark it at the 46, 2nd and 6. .5:19, the clock is running. Indians trying to get on the board here, pull within one possession. Melcher this time, off left tackle, going nowhere. Will be kind, he gained 1. Once again, another third down call. And the Indians, once again, looking to that bench, getting to play. DeLong wants to throw it. Going deep, looking for King, and it is incomplete. King finally had separation there, Jake, but that was a tough over-the-shoulder catch. He turned one way, looked the other, and we're talking two young people, and could not connect on that particular play, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, it was harsh there to look, man. It looks like he's going to get it. And just, as you mentioned, just it's a hard connection there, as the ball wasn't great through the air. It wasn't terrible, wasn't great. And like you mentioned, a cross-body catch, just couldn't come up with it.
Well, King, one thing you got to remember, he's got to run the route through. And he slowed down, I thought, around the 25, then tried to speed up again.
Yeah, I agree, Tim.
And that's just a couple of young kids trying to execute a play, and they'll get better at it. Line drive, fielded on the play. This is Graves up the middle, kicks it to the outside, and then the Indians are going to push him out of bounds near the 40-yard line. So Clinton, once again, they've had 3 possessions. They have not been stopped. They stopped themselves on the last one with the turnover in the end zone and lost 6 points. Let's see what they do here inside of 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Help your teen or tween take the first step towards financial freedom with an early start checking from SoQ. They can show their team spirit with a Pontiac Indian debit card handed to them the very same day. But that's not all. They have the whole suite of checking products that are sure to make the crowd go wild. Fresh start checking for those getting back on their feet. Senior checking and high yield checking. Stop into any SoQ branch today and join the family. All checking and subject to credit approval. Walker's running for his life. Shovel passes, connects, flag on the play. Could have a lineman downfield, might be the call against Clinton. We shall see, but a little razzle-dazzle and improvisation, and coming together, I should say, and that was a pretty play. I think it might come back.
Yeah, I think we just saw the signal there from the side judge, and there it is. Yeah, legal man downfield, Tim.
Folks, remember, SoQ branch, federally insured by the NCUA.
So with that, Tim, Elijah Harkey, a junior linebacker, man, he was hustling after the quarterback there. He couldn't quite get to him, and, but if he makes contact, the Indians have a great loss. They're going to have a better ball spot this time, I believe, than what Harkey would have came up with, nonetheless.
Well, that was Mason Walker to Colton Walker, 9-7. There is 4 brother combinations on this Clinton team. 2 of them are prominent at the varsity level.
Yeah, I saw the article on that, Tim, and that wowed me. I had to read that a couple times to.
Walker, a lefty, as you can see, looking, dumps it, open, caught. This is Graves, sidestepping Indian, still on his feet inside the 45, and is going to be gang tackled and brought down around the 43-yard line. That will be enough for a first down. Plenty of time for Clinton to make a move, 3:35 before halftime intermission. If it's not Potts, it's Graves. 20 and 22, their main weapons, along with the versatile quarterback in Mason Walker. You can understand why Clinton's had success this year. They got some talent in that offense. This is Potts. Potts kicking to the outside. Got enough for a first down. Still on his feet before about 4 orange jerseys bring him down, but not before crossing the 25, down to the 22. Another first down, and Clinton's on the march. Blackwell, among others, credited with the tackle. Walker, draw play. No, Walker keeps it. Walker to the outside on the right side, and will pick up about 5 or 6 on the play before he is bumped out of bounds. We're underneath 3 minutes to go. Still plenty of time for Clinton. Boy, somehow the Indians got to come up with another turnover here. Something to slow them down. Already down by 2. possessions. 14-0 is your score. Option play, Walker turns it up, and then he's going to be brought down near the 15-yard line, which will bring up a third down play. Blackwell and Pena credited with the tackle.
Hey, real quick, Tim.
Sure.
At Rantoul, 4:54 left to go in the first quarter. 8-6 is the ball game between Chillicothe and Rantoul. Chillicothe up over Rantoul.
This is Graves, and I think he's got enough for a first down near the 10. Sure is. That'll set up and move the markers with 2:16 to go. And Clinton's got 3 timeouts to work with as well. Right now, I don't think they even need to burn them. What they're trying to do is score and take as much time off the clock. And speaking of burning a timeout, it's going to be the Indians that's going to call one. Their second of the half. So with 2:11, we'll take a quick break here. The Indians down by 14. Remember, strong roots have strong yields, and if you want the performance that counts, it starts with a legacy of superior results found with Bowman Seed, your local legacy DeKalb and Asgrow dealer. Contact Andy Bowman with Bowman Seed today, 815-822-4777 for all your seed needs. And Graymont Co-op has been serving agriculture since 1903 with grain, agronomy, feed, insurance, and now internet. If you would like to join the Graymont Co-op team, visit graymontcoop.com and fill out an application. Everyone at Graymont Co-op is looking forward to a great year of Pontiac athletics. Now, Jake helped me out, and I'm sure you will know this, but we had Gary Bruner on, and he was talking about the tennis team.
Correct.
And there was history made by a couple of young ladies on that tennis team, doubles. Is that correct?
That's correct. Olivia Mashing and Brooke Berger, they went up and played at Hoffman Estates High School, if I'm correct, and I believe they won the first round, Tim. They, I believe, lost the first set, won the second set, went into 3, and ended up winning that first round set. However, lost in the second round. So they are officially done. They won't move on. I don't know if that was the Elite 8 or how that structure really worked. However, still making history as they were the first girls team to actually go and play in that state tournament.
Well, that was a great accomplishment by those 2 young ladies. Unfortunately, the Indian defense, as you could just see, could not come up with a stop, and Walker runs it in from 10. I beg your pardon, that was not from 10, but in any event, walked it in, and Clinton's up by 20. 2:03 to go. And the kick is off. It looks good, and it is good. So with 2:03 to go, it's Clinton on the road, in control, up by 21 over the Indians just before halftime. Enjoy house-ground steak burgers, smokehouse salads, appetizers, select smoked features, and the home-style horseshoe. Where's that at? Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse in downtown Pontiac. They're open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 2 and 4 to 8. Friday, 11 to 2 and 4 to 9. Saturday, 11 through 9. And Sunday, 11 to 8. Weekly specials include smoked rib quesadilla, brisket, burnt ends, and, of course, those great ribs. Also, try their homemade sauces as well. Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse, 815-844-6565 to order your meal or for reservations. And, folks, they have parties. They have events happening in there. This is this time of year. So if you're planning to go there, give them a call right now as the busy time of year comes into play. Well, once, a little switch of headgear. I was looking at some commercials, and who's joined us? But we had the former AD, now we got the current AD for the Pontiac Township High School Indians. And, of course, it's John Neisler. John.
Hi, Tim.
How's it going, my man?
It's going.
It's football, and you got a season underneath your belt, first one in. And, I think overall, considering, it's heading the right direction from a from a guy just sitting up here in the press row. So
I agree. I think there's a lot of positives from this year and a lot of things to build on. We're young and inexperienced and need to get a little bit of extra time under our belt. But Coach Gadberry and the staff that he's put around himself and around our kids, I think, are doing a great job. And I've been really appreciative of the work that they've done. One of the big things that a lot of people don't know and don't see is that this year we've had no football players in our ineligibility list. No one ineligible because of academic grades, and they're students, right? Student athletes. So, that's been a huge part for us, and I think that's exciting that everybody's on board with that.
Well, that is. I don't know if that's rare or not, but it sounds rare, and
I think
it sounds like
tend to be.
Yeah, and it sounds like the kids are committed in the classroom as well as on the field.
Yeah, and I think he's getting a lot of buy-in and a lot of commitment. The kids speak really highly of him, and even the guys that aren't on the team that are just friends with the guys on the team are really seeing the positive impact that he's having on all the guys. So. And again, it's not just Coach Gadberry, but Coach Meisner down there as well, both Jarks brothers, Caden and Zach, and Coach Buck, obviously, Coach Casson still being around. And it's been a really good season for them. And, the scoreboard doesn't always look the way we want it to, but I think this is a vastly improved Indians football team than what we saw last year for sure.
I really liked the way they operated and came to play last week at IVC.
Oh, boy, that was a great game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And they're not on the level with the top 4 or 5 teams in the conference. Everyone knows that. But, you did see some improvement, and you saw the kids, and they showed up to play. And that in itself means something when you're trying to take baby steps from one step to the next.
Correct. And I think that's what good fight from the kids, 4 quarters, every game, no matter what that scoreboard says. And I think it's going to continue to get better and continue to grow. I know that they'll start working on their off-season work. Oh, good catch by Ben there.
Yep. We're inside a minute talking with the Pontiac AD, and 46 seconds to go. And, of course, there's John Neisler here popping in here. We'll stay here. We'll run out the half with you, John. And,
that sounds good. Yep. Oh,
trying to get a first down, and Hunter Melvin's going to come up short. 4th down, and they're in hurry-up mode. The Indians have one timeout left,
looks
I do believe.
They may have just taken it. Yep. Looks like they just took it.
So, John, with the other thing here just tonight, of course,
oh, my goodness.
We got great crowd, and, of course, some of us, junior football was here and being honored, and I have no idea who the little girls right in front of us down there on the track, all dressed in their pink.
Yes. So Saturday, our cheerleading squad hosted a mini cheer clinic, a couple hours in the afternoon on Saturday. And so all of those participants are here tonight to do a halftime performance for us, and then we'll see the marching band after that. So we will have the 20-minute halftime, and looking forward to it. Well, with a little bit of time left here, I just got to say that I really appreciate, yourself, Tim, coming out and doing this week after week. Of course, Jake Green on the air with you here in football. Ben Meyer over there behind the camera, and, of course, Kent Casson and the Casson Media Group for putting this all together. And I know that our community really appreciates the effort that you guys are putting in, and, of course, continuing that into basketball season. I know that you're going to be covering our boys basketball. Our group here at the high school has been doing a phenomenal job of covering our other sports. If people haven't caught a varsity volleyball game, we've got 3 or 4 guys.
Deep ball by King Bobble.
So close.
And just
so
couldn't come up with it. That was a 4th down play, so Clinton will take over with 26 seconds to go, and they'll probably just run it out here. They're up by 21.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Well, I appreciate us being a part with you guys here and making this, and it's a learning experience. Jake's been great to work with, and Ben over there providing the sounds and pictures, and especially on the road. Yeah. And looking forward to heading indoors and following some Indian basketball and see what happens there. They have a huge schedule right out of the gate. I want to say they got 12 games before the holiday tournament. And they're up in Ottawa and Spring Valley Hall. A couple of great home games in December I see for the boys.
So we picked up
deep ball
overthrown. Yep. So we picked up Morton. So we play Morton on November 28th, and then we've also got the El Paso game is at home this week. This year, that same week, December 1st. on the road with PC and on the road with Streeter. Then just before the break, before the tournament. So, with the jump to 3A, which is the elephant in the room with all those sports, right?
You got
basketball,
it.
baseball, softball, volleyball. Did I say baseball? The jump to 3A was huge. So finding some of those larger schools to go play and get some competitive games, though, right? That year in and year out, hopefully we can be relatively competitive with, not just when we've got a Elite 8 team, Right,
I know it.
But
and you can't do anything about it. It'd been great to stay in 2A. Another deep ball, open, caught.
Nice
Can you
catch.
believe it? They're going to score another touchdown. Walker, the lefty, connects with number 3 right there for the Clinton, and that's Bass, Josh Bass, the head coach. Son on the reception.
That was a well-run play, a really well-thrown ball right in the right spot at the right time. I mean, no stopping his step there at all. That was a well-run
I was
route.
hoping they were going to take a knee and run it out, but they wanted to put some more on the board, and that's a dagger right there. Ouch.
Yeah, hopefully we can make some adjustments at halftime and come out. We've been talking this week about a decent little quarterback and a good little running back as well. And
kick is up. Kick is good. 28-0 is your score. 12 seconds. We'll keep it right here. For Clinton, you could see they got solid, skilled people. You understand where they're 5-3?
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
battled Shelbyville, top 10 team in 2A, before they lost last week to that school. So you understand why they're going to be in the playoffs and see what sort of damage they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can, like I said, come out after halftime and make some adjustments and maybe get a little punch back here in the second half and make it a little bit of a game here and finish the season on a strong note. I know coming off of IVC, I think everybody was pretty excited about that, and that was a great game over there. So, obviously missing a couple of pieces. I shouldn't say losing a couple of pieces, but missing a couple pieces tonight in Kerr and Riley, but. That's that's football, right?
Yep.
Week in and week out, and I'm not afraid to say it on the air. I know that Coach Gadberry's probably going to throw me under the bus with Eric Murphy later tonight when he gets interviewed. But I came off of week 7, week 8, and I told him, I said I was super pleased, and one of the best things is how healthy we were. And then, that's my fault. I'm going to take the blame on that one, and that is 100% my fault. So I apologize to everybody for praising them for keeping everybody healthy and safe.
So you see Melcher covered it up. Hey, one thing, we're going to end this on your comments.
Sure.
We've talked about it just before you came on there. I think it bears worth repeating. The tennis story and the 2 young ladies.
Oh, man.
And Jake was telling us about it, and if you could repeat, I think that's worth it's gold.
Absolutely. Junior and sophomore, Brooke Berger and Olivia Mashing in doubles tennis this year. Had a great year. I mean, the girls' tennis team overall finished the regular season, I think it was 11-6. A great year for them. And 2 young ladies, obviously back next year, hopeful that this year the goal was to get out of sectional, right, and get to state, get the experience. And I drove up on Thursday. I wanted to see them and get that experience myself, and we took a knee there to end the half. So looks like we'll go into halftime at 28-0 here.
And that's the first 2 young ladies to have their name up on the wall. Is that correct?
Those are the first 2 female tennis players that we've had qualify for state, which is absolutely fantastic. They went up there. They won their first round match. So there are 3 rounds before you really get into things. They won their first round match. And it was the first time that Coach Vogt has had anybody win a first-round match. He's had boys and boys teams go up there and win second-round matches, but never a first-round match. And I'll tell you what, I learned a lot about tennis up there watching that first-round match. It was about 2 hours long. And I looked at Coach Vogt and I said, Coach, I don't know if I can sit through another one. So that was, it was really exciting to watch them play, and obviously to have them coming back again next year. And looking forward to having the experience that they had at state this year and learn from it, right, and hopefully advance a little bit further next year.
Well, we appreciate you swinging by and taking time. And, again, that is one great story. The story here tonight, unfortunately, the Indians down 28-0 at halftime. The Pontiac AD, John Neisler, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim.
We will see you right down the line. Thank you much
Sounds
for
good. Appreciate it.
letting us be a part of the football campaign. Had a lot of fun this year, and we'll have more fun And we'll get at it. We're going to get at this and get it turned around, go in the right direction.
That's absolutely right. And I'm looking forward to the time that Coach Gadberry has here and what he does.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, halftime is where we're at. We're going to take a break. Again, Pontiac down by 28 here at home in the last ball game of the year. The PTHS cheerleaders and the clinic and all the little kids are going to entertain us. The marching Indians are going to entertain us. And we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with more after this. All right, we are back here at halftime. Hopefully, I know you could see the pictures. We were trying to pick up the marching Indians, so you could hear that at home as well. I don't know how good that came across, but Ben trying to do his thing here, providing the pictures and the audio for us here, and hope you enjoyed that here at halftime. We still got about 5 minutes, and they'll put another 3 on the clock, so a total of 8. We are at halftime, and the Indians on the short end, unfortunately, of a 28-0 deficit here at halftime. And Clinton, you can understand why they're 5-3, and they have had a great campaign, and they're going to end up going 6-3 way it looks, and they will get a playoff spot, and that's what they're looking for, because the playoffs will get announced come tomorrow evening through the IHSA there. And everybody will get to know where they're going and where they're heading. Are they staying home, or if they're going to hit the road? Unfortunately for the Indians, they will come up, and unless they have a huge comeback, they'll finish the campaign on 2-7. State Bank of Graymont understands the farming community has been helping area farmers prosper since 1913. All of the loan officers have been involved in ag lending for many years, all with farm backgrounds. Stop by and visit with Scott Bachnick, Blair Barton, Paul Russo, Denny Stevens, Ashley Ralph, and/or Brandon Tate. State Bank of Graymont offers operating lines of credit and loans for machinery, buildings, and equipment, farm service agency loan programs, and farm real estate. Enjoy the bank's free regular checking account, unlimited checking writing, no monthly service charges, free internet banking, and account access 24. See State Bank of Graymont in Graymont, Chinook, Pontiac, or Sonneman. Visit the website, sbofgray.com, member FDIC. Again at halftime, and the Indians in the season finale down 28-0 against the Maroons of Clinton. We'll take another break. We'll come back, and we'll get this second half started and see if the Indians can get their offense moving here in the second half. Once again, and as always, Indian football on the Eye in Central Illinois, part of the Casa Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brandt Professional Agriculture and the fine folks at the Bank of Pontiac. Back after this timeout. All right, once again, we're at halftime. We're a couple minutes away from starting this thing up again, along with Ben Meyer providing the pictures and audio behind the scenes here. Appreciate his fine work all football campaign long. Jacob Green will rejoin us here in a moment as well. I'm Tim Scott, and hope you enjoyed. There's a lot of things happening out here in the first half. Unfortunately, score-wise, it's not the way Indian fans would like it, down 28-0. But good to see, as you can imagine, the crowd with all the junior footballers being honored, and the cheerleader camp and clinic, and they were doing their thing. The marching Indians provided great entertainment here at halftime, and some of those folks on what's becoming a cooler evening. And unfortunately, on a 2-6 campaign, you're down by 28. They'll probably meander their ways, and they have left the grandstand area. But the faithful are still here, and we'll see what transpires here in the second half and the season final here in Pontiac. You finally have a dream home. Now you need the right insurance to protect it, because when it comes time to file a claim, you don't want any surprises. Talk to a Country Financial rep like Marlon Alts to find out if you have the right protection. He can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Call Marlon today, 842-1376. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, all from the Bloomington, Illinois area. And Stoller International has been serving the Central Illinois farming community since 1935 and continues to do so today with 5 locations. They are the dealership that service-built, providing Case IH, Kubota, CJB, Kins, Bobcat, Woods, MacDon, and many other name brand equipment to customers. Along with this new equipment, they also offer a wide range of used, high-quality equipment. All 5 of their locations offer a full-service parts and sales department. Stop in at your local Stoller International store today to see how they can help you. And remember, folks, we are knee-deep in fall, and it's always an exciting time of year with high school football, the band competitions, and, of course, we just had the homecomings in all the area schools. See Driscoll's in Pontiac for a dependable vehicle to get you to these activities and more. Find plenty of autumn deals as your did it, done it, and still dealing dealer. Driscoll's out there on Newport Road in Pontiac. Again, 28-0 at halftime here. The Indians are down. And the other network game, or the other network game, 2 network games that we know scores from, Ridgeview, Lexington, they're in the short end of a 22-6 score. That's the last report we had. They're playing Deer Creek, Mackinac. They need a win to the Chiefs to become point and win eligible. They're 4-4. If they win out, they will get into the playoffs. And, of course, the big surprise is right back in the Illini Prairie Conference. And Central Catholic at halftime down to Prairie Central. Prairie Central leads it 15-7 is the last score we had. Just the start of the third quarter down there is underway. And the Hawks, we understand, will have the opening third quarter kickoff. So right there, that would be a huge upset. And the Hawks would end up with 6 wins. And Central Catholic, if St. Joe Ogden can win, would have to share the conference title. We will see how that all plays out. And if we can get that updated score to you before we leave the airwaves, we certainly will do it. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, we are about ready to get going here as both teams, as you can see, are taking the field. The Indians will get it first. And Jake is back with us. Jake, as far as that first half is concerned, Clinton certainly dominated and in every aspect of the game, and you can see why they should be up 28-0. They blitzed the Indians in that first half.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. It was unfortunate there. You really saw Clinton was the aggressor, man. They were a solid oiled ball club there, and you know they were good offensively and they made good stops defensively, and the Indians had their imperfections along the way. I got to go down to the locker room there as Amazing King had a great return.
Yep, on the far side there. Go ahead, Gene. Go ahead.
Hey, well, yeah, I got to go down. I
sorry.
got to go down in the locker room there at halftime with that extended half to kind of see what the mood was down there, if you would, and kind of see what the game plan was. And I think really what you're going to see is it's going to be big plays for the win. It's at that point now in the season where chances are going to be made. You're at a 28-0 disadvantage. You just really want to see what can we do. what can we do to make this a ball game? And you have that. And you also have the kind of the ideology setting in that, man, there's 24 minutes left in this game for these group of seniors and kind of this team together. And it's, there's a lot of emotions flowing right now. And you really, I think the thing is you got to come out here in the second half, and it's what can we do to make this a ball game? Don't give up anything. Younger guys, your number's coming up. It's going to happen. Be ready to play. And
almost picked off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No doubt. And, we just got to we got to see it. There's a lot of emotions going right now,
I'm
Tim.
sure it is. And you folks can see where that ball was marked back at the 24. There was a penalty there. So part of that King run that was out to the 40 got wiped off. Indians tried a little quick hitter there on the near side. Trips to the left, as you can see, as they're setting up right now. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10. I'm sure it is for yourself as well, manager. You're a senior, been part of this football program for 4 years. And you have 24 minutes of football left, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for that one to get brought up, Tim. I figured by the end of this contest we'd cross that bridge. And, yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think I've said it on the air a few times. I'm more of a basketball kid, right? That's where I've done that longer. It's where my heart's more at, with sports as far as that goes. But, man, football has been special. I was able to kind of start off my freshman year. I jumped in and was that guy that, what do you need, coach? I'll do it. Right. And I got the spot in the Suburban, if you would. And I kind of came more of a one with the coaches, I guess, if you could say, right? And, just kind of built up with that and enjoyed it that way, but put a lot of time in with football, no doubt, because it's a lot more sit around, practice, wait for your time to be called on what you need to do. It's a big play through the air.
Home run ball, and it is caught. Sure is. It is caught out there by Ben Melcher. That was a pure jump ball at the 38, and Melcher, 4 kids around the football, 2 orange jerseys, 2 white jerseys, and Melcher comes up with the big play.
And that's what you need right there, Tim. Like Coach Gadberry said, it's time to make some plays. It's time to take a chance. And here it is. They had a good ball through the middle. It happened to fall right. There could have been a lot of room for it to fall wrong, but got lucky there and came up with it.
So DeLong on the connection. Now they'll go back to the ground. This is Curtis, Amari Curtis, and he'll pick up about 8 on the play down to the 30. And with 10:37, the clock running here, just the start of the third quarter, Indians are in business. This is their deepest look so far tonight. It was all Clinton in that first half. And tell the truth, Clinton lost 6 points when they fumbled in the end zone on one of their possessions, or it could have been uglier. Curtis gets the first down on the run, and he'll be inside the 25, near the 23. They'll mark it at the 24, 1st and 10.
But no, going back to kind of our conversation with the emotions, Tim, I mean, yeah, for me too, yeah, I mean, I've been broadcasting for a few years up here with football. This year it's been really all broadcast on game days, but still it's different. You have the family aspect, and you have there's a different culture and mindset between football and basketball, so there's not it's not really the same. It's the same title, same type of jobs, but your feelings through the seasons are different, and
no doubt,
and so on. So it's special in its own right, and yeah, no doubt, it's going to be bittersweet when it comes to an end. But definitely thankful and grateful that basketball is right around the corner to kind of cheer me back up and get me back to
there you go. Well, hopefully it'll be a great football campaign. We've talked about that. Run up the middle. That's Ben Melcher, and he almost broke loose for 6. Down to the 10. Let's see, it's inside or not. It'll be 1st and goal. Let's see where they mark it. Might be just outside the 10. And we got a timeout in the field. And tell the truth, I don't think over there on the far side, Coach Ron Bass is very happy with his team as it came out to play. As the Indians are driving it right down their throat in this opening possession, he burns a timeout. And we'll keep it right here. State Farm agent Greg Kurtenball is proud to be part of the Pontiac community. Stop in and see him at his new location right across from the post office in downtown Pontiac. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And GHX is the new straight-up seed buying experience. You get a max script recommendation for the right hybrid at the right population for maximum yield at one flat per acre price without all the hassles of programs and deadlines that get in the way of a straight-up, transparent experience. Contact GHX Specialist Kate Hill, 217-417-3283 for a straight-up and transparent seed buying experience in 2024. There's the snap. DeLong's going to keep it on a keeper, getting around the corner near the goal line before being knocked out around the 3-yard line. And that'll be second and goal from the 3.
You know, we saw the Maroons. They're kind of signaling for the ball to be out, and I don't like the look of this as A.J. DeLong was on the ground. He'll hop back up, thankfully. There for a second. He was
and has the football in his hand, too. So
he was kind of squirming around there on the ground. It didn't look good there for a second. But, yeah, we'll get him right back to the line and going. But, hey, the Indians get one in here, get a stop quick, maybe an onside kick, get in the end zone again, make this more of a 2-score game. Never say never here if the Indians can keep some momentum, Tim.
9 minutes, clock running. This is Mari Curtis reaching for the goal line and gets it. Touchdown, Pontiac. Curtis, a 3-yard run up the middle.
I think it's a night and day difference from what we saw there in half number 1, Tim, with Curtis's aggressiveness running. It's a lot more right now, no doubt.
So the Indians showing a little bit of life. Down 28-6. And I am sure they will go for 2. They're getting the play in. They have 17 seconds before the play clock runs out. That's not an issue at all tonight so far. DeLong from the shotgun. Looking. Needs to dump it. Melvin with the catch, stretching. Ball's out. Fumbles it. I think he picked it up and should be a 2-point conversion out of King. Let's see. Touchdown. That was 2-point conversion, I should say. I think that's going to be credited to King. I don't know if you could see that at home. Melvin reached out to break the plane, fumbled it. It fell into the end zone. All King did was just pick it up, and he was standing in the end zone. And the 2-point conversion is good. And all of a sudden, the Indians put 8 up on the board.
I think we're going to try and get Ben Meyer to maybe try and go back and get a replay of that, too, if he can. He's working on it over there on the booth next to us. Yeah, no doubt, Tim. I think that was just awesome. Indians get on the board 28-8.
Now, if that was something that would have tied the ball game or won a ball game, that really would be something. I don't know. At the moment, it's just a quirky play, but the Indians will take it. And it's the bounce of the football, because that thing hit the turf, and normally that thing would kick out of bounds, and it would not be a 2-point conversion. But it just laid there, and Amazing King comes up and kind of nonchalantly picked it up, and he said, hey, I'm in the end zone. That's it. And the officials agreed. Well, let's see if the Indian defense, they could not slow the Maroons down at all in that first half. And tell the truth, I mentioned it. Maroons had 5 possessions. They scored in 4 of them. And the 5th one, they should have scored, because they are the ones that fumbled it right at the goal line. And the ball popped into the end zone, and the Indians fell on it, or they would have had 6 more. So let's see if the defense can come to life a little bit. Single back, picked up at the 25, and that's Walker, and he's going down. Nowhere to go. Colin Cox with the tackle.
Hey, that was great to get off the kickoff there, get off the ball, and get down there and make a play by Cox, a junior, who doesn't get very much playing time, but when he does, he makes some strides, Tim.
Yeah, we've seen him with a play or two, especially the last 3-4 weeks out of the young man, no doubt. All right, here we go. This will be the telling tale right here. This time under center, and they're going to run the ball right up the middle. And they'll pick up about 4 in the play. Let's see, was that Potts or Graves? That was Potts on the carry. Tristan Potts, he's a senior. Dawson Graves, number 22. The running back tandem right there, he is a senior. Mason Walker, the quarterback, who's had a big game. He's a senior, so a lot of leadership out there for this football team. I'm sure the fans from Clinton have enjoyed watching them. This time Walker's going to throw it. Fires it down them. Picked off by Amazing King at the midfield. King trying to turn the corner. King will run out of bounds at the 25. And the Indians right back in business.
How about that, Tim? Oh, my. The Indians may just get back in this one. Amazing King gets it. He has a good return off of it as well. And the Indians now are back on the attack.
I don't think Walker ever saw him because he threw it right to him at the 50 on the Indian logo. And then King, he knows what to do with it.
Yeah, just an open field, no coverage, Tim. And, man, defensive coordinator Josh Meisner jumped, I think, to the moon off that one.
That was that's the first big-time mistake that smooth-looking quarterback has made for Clinton, and the Indians will take it. Their second turnover and the first interception of the night for Walker. Let's see if the Indians can capitalize and keep this crowd in it. They're going to run right up the middle, and that's going nowhere. Melcher, I believe, was the ball carrying. Nope, that's King. Not 32, but 22.
Curtis.
Amari Curtis. Not King, beg your pardon. That's Curtis. Thank you.
We'll get it through the, maybe by next year.
I still had King in my mind with that interception. And I was amazed that Walker, sometimes quarterbacks, just because they get tunnel vision and they're going to go to somebody come heck or high water, and I don't think he saw him at all. The Indians got to do something with it. Right up the middle. That's Amari Curtis, got it right this time, and he'll pick up a first down, 11 on the carry, down to the 15. Nice job of opening up a hole, and he doesn't need much, and uses his speed and quickness to shoot the gap. And Melcher as well. Melcher in the backfield right now. And Melcher with the take. And Melcher gets bell rung at the 15, nowhere to go. Time it looked like the Maroon defense was in the backfield and maybe in the huddle. They kind of knew what was happening. See, and you miss right now, this is your target that you would go on that little slant route would be Kerr Bowman. And, of course, Kerr not playing tonight with that thumb injury.
Ben just showed me, our producer, 15-15 tied up at Bloomington Central Catholic.
A honey of a ball game down there. And the Indians are going to be called for a false start. I think King's the one that jumped from his wideout position. That'll cost them 5. It'll be 2nd and 15. 6:37 third quarter. It's 28-8. Clinton. They led 28-0 at halftime. Indians scored on their first possession, and they just came up with a big interception. They're trying to capitalize on that right now. Tight formation. King looking for him. Slant, a down and out route, not a slant, and nowhere near the target. DeLong wasn't close on that one.
Yeah, a little overthrown there to the right, Tim, as DeLong got the ball to King.
Boy, if you ever got a trick play, now's the time to call it. No need to keep it in the old locker for the winter. King is on the far side, trips to the left. Melcher is in the slot. Bad snap, has to hurry, nearly picked off. That's a forward pass. And that play, because of the bad snap, never got untracked, and it'll bring up 4th and 15.
You know, Tim, I won't lie to you here. I can't give you all the trade secrets. However, you mentioned trick play. There was a thought of one early this week in practice. That was also before Kerr Bowman broke his finger. So, I don't know if we'll see that exact thought tonight.
Do we have a Kerr Bowman 2 available maybe to run that trick
Yeah, he's in the clone machine inside. He'll be coming out here for the fourth quarter. But
6:16 to go, 4th and 15. And now we got a timeout. And I think the Indians are going to burn a timeout. And if you're not sure, you can't take those to the locker for the offseason either. You Miles used them up. Again, the Indians down by 20. We got a little break in the action here. Do you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling emergency? Well, give DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling a call, and they'll be on their way. DPI is licensed, local, family-owned, and operated business serving the plumbing and HVAC needs of Pontiac, Fairbury, Streator, and the surrounding Livingston County area. Their highly trained and certified technicians have the expertise necessary to help you. DPI is available 24 hours a day, every day of the year, 419-2040, or visit DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They're located on Ladd Street, 900 North Ladd Street in Pontiac.
Well, Tim, most certainly down there at Rantoul, the game has picked up a little more. Chillicothe now up 34-18. That was last reported at halftime. St. Joseph Ogden PBL, no score here thus far. Tolono Unity and Monticello the same as far as IHSA scores.
There's the look down the middle. No one home. It's intercepted and steps out of bounds at the 3. To be honest with you, first of all, the interception by number 7 is Colton Walker, one of those Walker brothers, and he had been better served just to knock the ball down to have better field position. But easier said than done when you want to have an interception and go in the books as picking one off. So the Indians, and nobody was home there. That was all white shirts, and that was a tough play for DeLong and company to come up with 4th and 15.
Well, and I think, like you said earlier, Tim, with Walker there, tunnel vision on the quarterback's part, and I think DeLong had some pressure coming in from his left side and just wanted to get it away.
Run up the middle, ball's out. I think the Indians recovered. Sure did.
And if I'm correct, Tim, and I think
Josh Hartke,
freshman Josh Hartke got in there. He's stepping up great. Him and his brother, Joshua and Elijah Hartke, stud football players. Elijah stepped up and grown tremendously this year. We mentioned him a little bit earlier, one of the linebackers. He plays his heart out. He's one of those guys that you want something done, you rely on Elijah. And his little brother's the same way. It may give fourth effort, and just overall good dudes at the same time.
Well, this is 1st and goal at the 3, and all of a sudden the Maroons are in the Christmas season because they're just giving up the football here in the 3rd quarter. Interception, now a fumble. Let's see if the Indians can capitalize. DeLong's going to keep it. Got a hole up the middle, and that hole closes quickly. Might have got down to the 2. 2nd and goal right there.
Yeah, definitely a gain of a couple there, Tim. And
A.J. DeLong is a little slow in getting up.
He's got to quit doing that to us, Tim. He's always kind of gets a little slow getting up.
And he's kind of holding his shoulder a little bit. I think he got bell rung. The young man's going to have to learn to when he's going to take a hit. He's got to get a little closer to the ground and deliver some punishment versus taking it. Up the middle in the meantime, Amari Curtis, nowhere to go. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal from the 3.
The Indians have to capitalize on this, Tim, no doubt. You got to take advantage of that opportunity there.
Well, right now it's been tough running up the middle. Our power running back, Riley Johnson, obviously not available tonight. He provides some of that toughness that we need in tackle to tackle for us this year, and unfortunately he could not play tonight. So here we go. 3rd down. Curtis up the middle again. Maybe got down to the 2.
I think that actually was going to be Ben Melcher's. Yeah.
Was that Melcher? Sure was. 32 versus 22. So Ben trying to.
Well, worst case scenario here, Tim, is maybe it is a turnover on downs, but still, you have Clinton backed up to the 2 or the 1, right? So.
Yeah, but you get this close, you got to get in. You have got to get in. 4:14 in the 3rd quarter. And I think the Indians are going to burn another timeout. Well, you're down this deep. You want to make sure you got everybody on the same page. I certainly understand that. RE Dynamics is a full-service real estate office out of Pontiac with over 35 years combined experience. David Wayman, Ryan Rich, Donna Sartoris provide the best service in every area of a client's need. Buying or selling a home, commercial or investment properties, or simply providing a free market analysis on your home. Not only do they serve the local communities they support and live in these communities. Give David, Ryan, and Donna a call, 815-844-HOME today. So off the timeout, you know, we have not seen that little swing pass where Hunter Melvin's in the flat.
Well, and another thing, too, I saw it work last week at IVC. I'd like to see it again, maybe, where Santi Pena can get out to the flat and
right
a little
now,
dash off to him.
Melvin's right there, lined up. They're going to run. They're pinning it. It's going to be a keeper, and I don't think you got in. Got down to the 1, and then the Clinton Maroon defense pushed them back.
And that snap was taken by Santi Pena.
Yes, it was. So there was a little bit of a different wrinkle. And they tried to go power. And for the moment, the Maroons still lead by 20. 4:04 to go, third quarter.
You really want to see the Indians defense go stop here, Tim. I mean, you wish the offense could capitalize, but now you really got to have the defense come in again for another big stop.
Well, Walker's under center. It's out of the eye. Might see a quarterback sneak right here to give some breathing room. Nope, it's the deep back. This is Potts, and Potts might get up to 4, maybe the 5-yard line. Pretty good job by the Indian defense on the first down carry. Melvin gets credit with the tackle. So if there is any hope and just to build on a positive second half, you got to have a 3 and out here by the Indian defense. This time out of the shotgun. Still keeping it on the ground and going nowhere. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. 3rd and long. Poindexter gets credit for the tackle for the Indians. Big play right here, 3:07, third quarter. If you have any hope at all, time is not really an issue yet. It's getting there. Indians need to stop. Option play. Walker still has it. And now it's pitched, and he's still going. Turns it upfield. Foot race. Midfield. There's the pitch right there late. This is Potts. Potts might go the distance. Touchdown, Clinton. Can you believe that play? Afterwards, that's not Potts on the touchdown pitch, but that was Graves, number 22, not number 20. But Walker kept it somehow, turned the corner, down around the 10, near midfield, the foot race, and then finally pitched it to Graves, who was just behind him, and Graves ran it in for the last 50. Wow.
Well, Tim, I think that
that kind of broke the old burst the bubble, didn't it?
That put the dagger in. I think
yeah, you got that right. 2:35 to go. The kick is good. And your score now 35-8. I wasn't predicting an Indian comeback, but my goodness, love to have seen them stop. Give Clinton credit. They had not run the option all night long, and it's a wrinkle, and the Indian defense could not get enough people on that corner. And they ran that thing literally to perfection.
Yeah, and man, you just hate to see it as an Indian fan, but like you said, Tim, earlier, there's a reason Clinton's good.
And you see options play ran at various levels, but you rarely see an option play that starts at the down at the 4? And the pitch takes place at the 50. Now that doesn't happen very often. All right, 2:35 to go. We've seen a little bit of everything in this game. Unfortunately, most of the scoring is from the visitors. south of Bloomington. We'll see if, I know Ben's listening in. We'll see if we can get an update at some point with that Central Catholic and Prairie Central game.
Still tied, Ben says.
All right, 15-15 was the score.
That's a barn burner down there at Bloomington Central Catholic.
But that's a big crowd down there tonight as well.
No doubt.
There's a line drive fielded there by an Indian up the middle and brought down just across the 31. And that's Gutierrez. So the young freshman right there, Jacob.
Yeah, haven't seen him since week number 1.
Yeah. So he gets a chance, the freshman there on the kickoff return.
You know, in another you just have to bring it up. It's an elephant in the room to an extent, Tim. Is it for some of these seniors and guys that don't get to play that much, you start looking at the scoreboard and going, man, we've been at this since July. It's the end, right? You know, that's for those guys that kind of really don't see the field and whatnot. The seniors are more on the, really in this short 14 minutes. That's the last time I'll wear these pads. That's the last time I'll be on this field and et cetera. And you start to kind of get out of the aggressive football player mode and more into the kind of sit back, take it in, and you kind of get disconnected there, Tim.
On the first down carry, minimal gain. Amari Curtis with the carry. Well, the numbers are small in terms of the total number of seniors. What was it, 12?
Yeah,
10 to 12,
11,
somewhere in there?
Somewhere in that range, right?
Yep. So it's not a huge graduating class, which is a good news for Coach Gadberry and his crew. See what the numbers will be next year. Pena's the quarterback. It's a duck, and it's intercepted. That's Walker. I want to say Pena. Pena was the quarterback there on that particular play. And Walker cut in front of the would-be receiver and comes up with a pick. 1st and 10 for Clinton, and they're in business once again.
Well, I was curious as to, I thought maybe that first play we saw Pena back there taking snaps, just a trick play or a different thought. And right now what I'm seeing, though, our athletic trainer checking out A.J. DeLong. So I assume, anyway, pads off, helmet off. We may not see A.J. DeLong the rest of this year. I think he took a pretty good blow there.
This is Graves up the middle. Correction, Potts. 20 and 22. And interchangeable, both of those guys. Well, if everyone remembers, way back in week 1, I try to forget that night down at Central Catholic, but Pena was the quarterback that night.
That's
and
right.
Then, and then Graves, and then made the switch, not Graves, but DeLong with week 2. Here goes that tandem again. This time it's Potts, and Potts will work it upfield, and that's enough for a first down. The clock is moving, the chains are moving, and the season is moving. Playoffs start next weekend. Always a great time of year. High school football with teams that make the playoffs. This time, that's a quick hitter. Walker gave it up immediately. And Graves, well, he'll pick up 3 or 4. They might get one more playoff. Or let's see if they'll just let this baby run out. They could. And they act like they might. I think that's the way the quarter will end. I'm looking at the play clock, and it's exactly the same as the game clock. So that's the way the quarter will end. We'll take a break. One more quarter to go. In 2023 for the Indians, they're down 35-8 here at Williamson. And, of course, Indian football. All on the Eye of Central Illinois, part of the Casamigos High School Sports Network, presented by Brandt Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. We thank those two fine businesses for our network sponsor. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this timeout. Hey, everybody, a four-letter word for Terry Sullivan of Lyons Sullivan Realty is sold. Your real estate professionals serve all of Livingston and surrounding county. Visit Lyons Sullivan Realty at 321 West Madison Street in Pontiac. Call the office at 815-842-1400 or log on to LyonsSullivanRealty.com. We thank Terry Sullivan of Lyons Sullivan Realty for helping us out this football campaign, as we do for all the fine sponsors. All right, one quarter to go. It's all maroon. Walker, Potts up the middle, running room again. These guys have worn me out. Potts and Graves, they're about the same size, got about the same speed. And they're both very interchangeable pieces,
yeah, very,
aren't
very
they?
Solid. Very
Boy,
solid.
they're. I hate to say it, they're kind of fun to watch. They'd be funner to watch if they had a orange jersey on, but
no doubt.
You can't fault the Clinton kids. They you understand
they'll play an extra week, Tim.
Yep.
Right? You know they're no slouch of a team. They may not play the same competition we do.
Potts working his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Clinton. A 16-yard run this time. And with 11:44, just the start of the fourth quarter, at the moment, 41-8. They'll get ready for the extra point. Well, the Indians started the third quarter, seemed to have a little of their mojo, and things were going well, but that kick is up, and that is good. Indians drove the length of the field to start the third, and that's how they got their 6 and a 2-point conversion. They came up with a turnover. They got it down inside the 5, couldn't convert, loss of down. They got it right back on a fumble. They had first and goal at the 3, could not get in, and that was kind of the backbreaker as far as the emotion of the second half is concerned.
Yeah, like
and then the big 94-yard run, that what broke it off, and now it's icing on the cake with this touchdown here.
Yeah, I mean it like you said, Tim. They just had that kind of momentum there,
yep.
and it was an Indian glimpse there for a while of, man, this might change a little bit. We may have a little bit of a ball
yep.
game, and just in a couple plays, it complete 180. Well, I wouldn't say that, but
it's the reason why a team is 2-6, and things happen, and they usually happen for a reason. And Clinton's made some big plays offensively, no doubt about it. They had that big bomb and pass and catch just before halftime, and that 94-yard run was special. I guess that goes into the books as a touchdown for Graves, not Walker, even though he darn near ran half the field with the football
right.
before pitching it and on the option. So that's, like I said, that is very weird.
Hey, good kick there, too, by the Maroons.
All right. This is Cox that's bringing it out. Cox across into 40. That's not Cox. Beg your pardon. That is number 11 for the Indians, not number 8. And that's going to be Tammon, Aiden Tammon. So Tammon get an opportunity and showed his speed and got across midfield. So the Indians will go back to work in Maroon territory. 11:35, still a lot of time in the fourth.
Well, Tim, what I like to see here, though, right back out there, he puts the pads and helmet back on.
I was going to say, that's good news.
A.J. DeLong, we saw him warming up there a little bit. There for a minute, kind of was worrying on what his fate was, but back in this contest.
So, and they will run it. Curtis looking for some room to operate. Ball, and he is slammed down, but that was after the whistles had blown. He will pick up, give it a generous 1 yard carry, 2nd and 9. (42-8). My math is correct. That is a 34-point lead. My math's not correct. 34-point lead. DeLong, Melcher, maybe 3 on the play before he is brought back. And they'll set up a 3rd down play. Once again, the score that we heard as of last, 15-15 Prairie Central and Central Catholic. That certainly is the big game tonight in the Illini Prairie Conference. The Saints trying to win it outright and stay undefeated.
Yeah, once we get a break here, we'll have Bren Meyer check it out.
Ooh, that's a great play defensively. Who else? Graves defensively comes up with a big one. Melcher looked like he was going to turn the corner and get a 1st down, and all of a sudden Graves comes flying out of nowhere and brings him down immediately for no gain. That'll be 4th down for the Indians, and of course they'll go for it.
Well, yeah, no doubt, Tim. You're going to see it here. What do you got to lose?
No, absolutely. At this point, nothing. Little backdrop screen. Pena got it inside the 30, close to a 1st down, but hold on. Flag comes out in the area that might be a hold against the Indian. Let's see. That was. Yep, there it is. So wipe it off. And they'll push it back. And what was a 1st down for Pontiac will become 4th and longer.
Hey, Tim, we got an update. 4th quarter at Bloomington Central Catholic. It's 22-15. Central Catholic up over Prairie Central.
So the Saints regain the lead down there.
Also, too, at the completion of this one, if that game's still going on, our sister network, Fairbury News, is down there at Bloomington Central Catholic covering that game as well. So tune in down there. Another one at Kent Casson and the Casson Media Network's channels right there.
I bet there's a lot of people down there, and I bet there's more than a few tuning in over in that area, wanting to know what the Hawks are going to do. We got a timeout on the field. The Indians are going to burn it. Well, are you ready for another great year, Pontiac? Well, Cypress Creek Renewables would like to give a huge shout out to all the hardworking students and staff members at Pontiac Township High School who are ready to make this year the best it can be. Best of luck this season from all the staff and crew at Cypress Creek who will be cheering you on all the way. Cypress Creek Renewables, powering a sustainable future, one project at a time, and of course, proud to be a football Indian sponsor. And speaking of longtime sponsors, Kelly Electric Pontiac, always supporting athletics, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever. Kelly Electric. They work hard to get the job done right the first time at Kelly Electric. Wiring Central Illinois for more than 40 years. That's Kelly Electric. All right. There's not much in the old playbook for 4th and 15, but let's see how the Indians handle it here. Melcher in motion. Now comes set. And Melcher, a halfback option down the middle and falls incomplete.
It may have been.
That's another one of those wrinkle plays there. And unfortunately, when you're down by 32, it's
maybe
or 34, I should say.
Maybe the 32 was supposed to be the 4 there. Did sprinkle that in maybe a little bit, but.
Well, too little, too late, unfortunately.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. It's unfortunate. 42-8. It's the last tribal meeting on the reservation, if you read the signs coming into this one, and.
Well, let's see how close Clinton plays it to the vest, or will they keep pounding away? 9:13, still time in the fourth quarter. This is a give to Potts. No, the quarter. Yep, Potts up the middle. Still on his feet, twisting and turning. Ball's out, loose on the field. Who's got it? Pontiac. Pontiac recovers. So sometimes when you twist and turn, sometimes you just need to cover it up. Potts did not. And another turnover for Clinton. But the only thing they've done wrong tonight, that's their third turnover. All in the second half. I'll stand corrected. That's their fourth. They had one down. They lost 6 points on when they fumbled it into the end zone. I don't know what their numbers are in terms of turnovers this year, but they certainly have the ability, and it's not a good ability, to put the ball on the ground. Certainly you don't want it in the playoff times because those are killers. So the Indians on first down. This looks like Melcher trying to find a little bit of room. And yep, Ben Melcher. 8:52, clock running. That's how much is left in the regular season for Pontiac.
Great building blocks, though, for next year, Tim. No doubt about it. As Coach Gadberry and the staff, we've talked about it quite a few times this year. Is just they've built something up here, and I think they're working on a culture that's going to hopefully stick here for a while.
DeLong trying to set it up, and boy, I think that's incomplete. And DeLong's down on the ground again. And he gets up, but tough competitor. But he has taken some shots. I wonder if he might come out. He was hit as he threw, and that ball just went into a multitude of players, and lucky it wasn't picked off. So right now, we have number 13. That's Camden Gillett coming in. Pena's going to be your quarterback. Gillett's going to be in one of the slots there. You can see him, number 13 on the far side. Melvin on the near side here. They're going to run the football up the middle and nowhere to go. Bring up fourth down. Next snap will be inside the 8-minute mark. This year, the Indians were on the road 5 times, home for 4. This is their 4th home game, the last one of the year. The snap, Pena's looking. Pena is engulfed by a host of white shirts, sacked for a loss, and Clinton will take over on the Indian 30. You mentioned 2019, and they were 3-6 that year. The following year was the COVID year, where they were
0-6.
0-6. And then the 2 years that Coach Johnson were here, they were 1-8 each of those 2 years. So the wins have been few and far between.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been a while since we've had I wouldn't say successful is the right word, Tim, because I think you can find little bits of success in everything you kind of do. However, we haven't seen a winning Pontiac football team in what's been since, 2018? Is that right?
Be 2018, yep. I want to say they were 6-3 that year, regular season.
Went on to play a couple playoff games. I believe Heron maybe at home, then went down to play Rochester the week after. Is that right, Tim? That's right.
I would have to look back on that one. I can barely remember what I did yesterday, but you might be right. Walker, he's going to throw it to lefty, caught out in the flat near the first down marker. That was Graves, Keaton Graves. Why not? You just throw it to Walkers, the Graves.
It's a family affair.
Yes, no kidding. And there's some Gundys on this team. They are younger kids at the JV level, I was understanding. This time, run up the middle. Look out. Potts is going to score again. And with 7:03 to go, it's all Clinton. And unfortunately, we're going to see a running clock for the final 7 minutes. 48-8 is your score. That was way too easy. And I'm afraid the Indians are just out of gas here. There's no doubt about it. Tough way to end the campaign. And the kick is good as well. 7:01 to remain. Season started down at Central Catholic, a very difficult opener. Went to Prairie Central. That became difficult from the Indians' perspective. Usually those games are tight, not this year. And when you run the gauntlet of PBL down there, St. Joe Ogden up here, Tolono Unity down there, Monticello up here. When you're trying to build something and you got to play that competition in and out,
yeah,
it's tough to keep the kids focused, tough to keep your head up at times.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Tim. It's just
they picked up a win over Rantoul earlier in the year, and then, of course, IVC last year. I'll go out on a limb. Somebody from IVC or Rantoul, both undefeated, or both they're winless, I should say. Somebody's going to get a win in that one.
I believe it was going to be Chillicothe. By the look on that one, but no doubt, Tim, is
it's been a difficult year, a tough year, especially for the older kids. Line drive, fielded at the 7. Pontiac's bringing it out. That I believe is Cox this time. Brought down near the 20. And now we got a little bit of extracurricular. Flags all over the place. Maybe those emotions are running a little bit high here. I think there was just shoving and pushing and maybe a couple of comments made out there, but that's it. If the officials want to make this real quick, just offset. Because right now, the clock continues to roll with the running clock, and maybe that's a good thing, quite frankly.
Well, Tim, I will say 22-15 the final at Central Catholic. Bloomington Central Catholic remains undefeated on this year.
So the Saints, well, now they're going to stop the clock because the officials say we're going to stop it. They're trying to figure this out. Who's, like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different flags out there. So the Central Catholic Saints go undefeated. 9-0, a perfect campaign. Congratulations to them. Prairie Central ends up 5-4, a very good 5-4 team. Obviously, they will be on the road. They have enough playoff points, and they'll be on the road somewhere come next weekend. And, of course, we will be done with the football piece of this. And our next opportunity to get together will be that Monday, the week of Thanksgiving. I want to say maybe the 21st. Don't quote me on that. 20th, is that it?
20th at Ottawa.
You are correct, sir. All right, let's see what we can, what we have here. like I said, these should just offset. Well, we got a tripping, and we got a personal foul. Somebody got ejected. If I read that official right.
That's right.
And folks, at this point in time, and Coach Gadberry is getting an explanation right now. Don't know if we can pick that up on the camera. I think you can on your picture there. They're sorting this out. It's not going to change the outcome, unfortunately. I heard in the background with a PA, a tripping and a personal foul. Those should offset.
We'll see.
I would think. And I know they're trying to get this thing right, but the quicker the better, if you would, please. Speaking to the Zebras. Been about a 5-minute delay here trying to get this figured out. Once again, Monticello and Tolono Unity. Curious to see what that score is going to be. St. Joe Ogden, I would assume would have no problem with PBL, but that's why you play the games. I don't know if any of that's been updated on the IHSA site. We'll look one more time here because we got about 5-6 minutes of football to be played, and we are out of here.
Tolono, Monticello, no updated score. Chillicothe is going to take care of Rantoul 46-18. That's not going to be a worry. Let's see if we can find PBL and St. Joseph. And no update there.
Okay. So the clock is stopped with 5:58. Boy, they're still discussing this. As you can see. I'm not even guessing. Sometimes with high school, these penalties, and they mark it. Something else had to. All right, so right now, and another final, Mackinac over Ridgeview. That became a tight ball game, but Deer Creek Mackinac won 22-20 over Ridgeview Lexington. And why? First of all, that's on the Kent Casa Media Network down there. And for Deer Creek Mackinac, that got them to 5-4, and they are in the playoffs. They have a great history down there at Deer Creek Mackinac, and they have great facilities. They've remodeled turf field down there. They have done a nice job for a small school down there as well. And they actually had to deal with some. So we got a kickoff going on here again, huh? They're going to replay that? Right. Okay. Don't know exactly why, but oh, man. Another flag comes out. 2 flags come out. I think that was Gutierrez, and that wasn't Gutierrez. That was
no, it definitely, yeah, it
or
was.
Was it Tammon?
I think it was Gutierrez. That was a hard lick, though.
Yep. It was. I thought it was clean, but the official, there's 2 of them that might have been excessive. Let's see. No, that's a block in the back against the Indians. So ball's going to be marked back, and at this point in time, all of a sudden a little chippy.
That's
and it's
right.
time to get the clock running and make sure no one gets hurt here.
Yeah, no doubt.
48-8, it's over.
There's a little too much time left for there to be too many opportunities for it to get chippy, if you would.
Yep.
9:16 here, Central Standard Time, with a nice cool 47, Tim. Thankfully, we're in the box.
All right, finally, the Indians will get a play in. This is up the middle. And Curtis. Enough for a first down, Amari Curtis. There's no doubt you see some flashes of some of these young kids. And and I'll say this before and I'll say it again. Anybody wants to talk it, you got to get better in that line. There is just no doubt. It starts both sides of the ball, offense, defense, and line play has just got to get stronger. There's just no other way around it. This is Curtis again up the middle. And I think he's got enough, a gain of 11. They'll move the change. The clock continues to run inside of 4 minutes. And it looks like Clinton has put in its second unit. Well, it should, up by 40. They don't want any of their regulars to get hurt at this point in time because they'll be playing football next week somewhere in the playoffs. Curtis once again up the middle. And a gain of 6 or 7. 3:33 clock continues to run.
Well, Tim, is about 3 minutes left. We're going to switch hats again like I did last week at IVC and kind of go enjoy those final moments on Williamson. It's been great here thus far. I can't thank Kent Casson and you and Ben enough, man. It's been awesome to be able to call games with you all year. Well, at least most of the year anyways.
Yep,
and,
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to helping with basketball and man, bittersweet end to the football career here as Ben Melchers gets a good run there. But, yeah, hey, it's hopefully it's the foundation for a new beginning, Tim, and that's what we need here in the football program is for the building blocks to be just a little more solid. And hopefully we can see that kind of as the waves continue on. But I thank you so much, Tim. I thank all the people at home watching. We'll have Ben shut down the stream here afterwards. But, yeah, well, thank you. And
all right.
We'll see you in basketball season,
absolutely. Tim. Enjoyed it. And, the outcomes weren't the greatest at times, but certainly enjoyed working with you. I hope everybody watching and listening and doing their thing, hope they'd enjoyed it as well. And you're right. We will see you at Hoop Time, not too far away. And that'll be up in Ottawa, our next opportunity.
Yep.
So.
Well, I appreciate you, Tim. Appreciate you, man. And we'll see everybody soon. And thank you guys for tuning in here. And now, Tim, take it over.
All right. Still with 2 minutes to go, the clock continues to run. Second down and short. And let's see, the Indians can, this is Curtis up the middle once again. Trying to turn the corner, gets pushed out of bounds. That's enough for another first down. As I mentioned, you can see that it is the second unit in there for the backups for the Clinton Maroons. And the Indians are having their way on this particular drive. Trying to maybe get another score here before this clock runs out. And the season runs out. Curtis once again. Curtis up the middle. Curtis inside the 10 down to the 5, first and goal. The Indian quarterback on this drive is Josh Hartke. Didn't mention that. You can see the number 3 in the backfield. I bet Curtis gets it once again. Amari Curtis, and not this time. He's caught from behind. And we're down to 60 seconds, clock running. Curtis a little slow getting up. Hobbling around a little bit. Seems to be okay. He's waving. Nope, he says, I want to stay in here. 40 seconds to go. This is second and goal. Snap. Curtis. Not this time again. Stuff for a 2-yard loss. And the Indians are going to be hard-pressed to get a playoff here. 25 seconds. The clock is running. Third and goal from the 10. Back-to-back plays have resulted in a loss of 4 yards. Well, let's see if Hartke goes up top or they're going to give it to Curtis. Nope, he's going to throw the ball this time. Slant pattern and knocked down. And that's the way this one is going to end. The Pontiac Indians, Week 9, they come up short of a 49-8 score. The Clinton Maroons will move on to playoff action. They go to 6-3, and the Indians go to 2-7. Once again, your final. And before we do that, we certainly would like to thank all the fine sponsors that have helped out during the football campaign. And certainly to our network sponsors of Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Thank you very much. Repeating the final one more time from Williamson Field, Week 9 as the season comes to an end. The Pontiac Indians come up short on a 49-8 score. For Ben Melcher, for Jacob Green, I'm Tim Scott. Hope you enjoyed the campaign, if not the outcomes, and hopefully the Indian program heading in the right direction. And Coach Gadberry and his coaching staff, only time will tell here when the offseason and the work that needs to be done will be done by these fine kids. So hopefully, and I think it will be. We'll see. But for the here and now, it's a 2-7 campaign, and the Indians end up losers here tonight in the home finale of 49-8. You've been listening to Pontiac Township Indian Football in the Iron Central Illinois, part of the Casa Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. We will see you in Ottawa in November for the season opener of Pontiac Township Boys Basketball up there on the road in November. That'll be our next stop with you. So long from Williamson